Hello, everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of Do It Yourself with Other People from 113. This is a new video series that basically teaches me, and then also teaches you, how to do little projects and how-to videos that would help you become a better musician, better artist, better person, because we can all stand to be better people. So I have Benjamin Klein here, and we're going to be making an instrument that I had never heard of before.
Sure. This is an mbira. It's an African instrument. It's also known as a thumb piano or a kalimba in some contexts. But this is a project that's really easy to build. Something that I do with a lot of middle school workshops, but it also has some applications for adult experiment practice as well.
Cool. Yeah. And so what does this when you're building this with middle schoolers? What are you trying to get across with this?
Sure. Well, number one, that you can build your own instrument. That it's not always something that you buy at a store that you use to make music. That just using the things that you have around your house, you can start making some art that way. I also like to teach a number of physics aspects of music, acoustics. And one thing that this instrument is really good for is exploring resonance and how you can get different objects to resonate in different ways.
Santa, I think that's something as a not middle schooler, as a musician, I think that exploration of resonance is really important. I think it unlocks a little bit more possibility for any instrument when you think, okay, well, this is the resonance of the instrument itself, but how does it interact with the room? How does it interact with the surface? And we see this all over the place in new music of composers kind of playing with this concept. So for performers, the sooner you get that, in your head, then the sooner you can kind of expand how you're interpreting a score. And for composers, it's a really fun tool to play with.
Right.
So, all right, great. So let's get building.
Sounds good. Let's first go over the things that we need.
Cool.
Right. So the first thing is just some pieces of scrap wood. So that's what I have here. Very rough cut, as you can see. But it's about the size of a coaster and about the thickness of a coaster. So that's what we'll use for the base of our instrument. One for you and one for me. We need some bobby pins. So I got my scrunchy no-slip bobby pins. And we will use this as the tong of the mbira.
And if you don't have any bobby pins, no matter where you live, if you search corners, usually you find discarded ones.
That's true.
So,
even if you yourself do not wear bobby pins from the previous tenant of your apartment or your house, there will probably be some bobby pins somewhere in the house.
Yes.
Right. So the next thing, chopsticks. So you need a pair of chopsticks. One for you, one for me. And then a bunch of rubber bands, which I have right here in this box.
To different sizes.
Right, different sizes. It doesn't need to be uniform. We just use this to hold everything together. I do have some tape. It's not necessary, but it is an extra helpful step for keeping things in place.
Cool.
Once we have our mbira set up. Cool. All right, shall we start building?
Let's start building.
Great. So first, let's just open up our chopsticks. There we go. All right. And what we're going to do is put the chopsticks eventually on either side of our plank. So like this. All right?
Okay.
So that's how it's going to sit on our board.
All right.
Yep.
Cool.
So that's where those are going to go. We need about 4 or 5 bobby pins. The exact amount isn't really necessary to have exactly 5 or exactly 6. You could have 3, you could have 2, but let's just use 4 each. So there's 3 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, there we go. And what we want to do next is take the bobby pin and pull it apart so that it has a little bit more of an alligator opening.
Cool.
So like that.
Alligator. I can follow that.
Yep.
Alligator.
Like that. Right. And we want to do that with all of our bobby pins.
Now, if your bobby pin, if you live somewhere with fresh water, I think it'll look more alligator. Correct?
Yes.
But if you live in saltwater regions, it might look a little more crocodilian to you, and I think that's all right still.
Right. Or a cayman.
Like maybe a cayman too.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Maybe here it could be a muskie.
Yes, that's
right. Yeah.
This is very musky.
Here in Minnesota, it's our musky face.
Musky face.
Right. Sounds like a good name for a band.
It does. We are musky face.
Once we build our mbiras, that can be
it. That's the name of
our
mbira band.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so the next thing we want to do is take our bobby pins and put them, through the chopstick so that they are resting against the plank like that.
Okay.
Right?
Do it for each one.
Yep. There we go. And I've had multiple cups of coffee. My hands are a little
I am to blame.
All right.
My hands are always this jittery. That's my secret.
There we go. So it should.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Look like that.
Cool. All right.
There you go.
Okay. Now that I'm seeing this kind of take shape, I just want everybody to know that I think I totally did know what this instrument was. I didn't know the name of it.
It has a couple of different names.
Cool. Mbira.
Mbira.
That's really fun to say.
mbira.
Okay.
There we go. And now holding this in place, and if they get a little wonky, that's okay. We can adjust them once we get things tightened down.
Okay.
Too. Now we want to put our other chopstick on the back, so it's like that.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
And now take a rubber band.
Mm-hmm.
Here's one for you, one for me.
Really wonky. Okay. We'll get there. Don't be perfect, Justin. It's not a video game. All right.
I'm going to loop it around one of my chopsticks on one side, and then wrap it around a few times.
Okay.
And then put the loop on the other chopstick. Like that. So that it holds that on there.
So loop it. Oh, one. Put it around one.
Yep.
Get there. You'll get there. That. And then around the other one.
Yep. So then it holds it in place. And it doesn't need to be super tight.
Okay.
Just enough to hold the chopsticks there and hold the bobby pins in place.
Cool.
We then want to do the same thing to the other side.
Okay.
Right, so here is the rubber band for you.
Thank you.
And we'll wrap this around like that. There we go. Great.
Just trying to straighten them out. There we go.
Yeah.
And this one's loosey goosey. So okay.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
If you pluck your, you could have a few sounds. There we go.
Not happy with this one. Come on, buddy. Nah.
One thing that you can do, if they're loose like they are here on Justin's, we could take another rubber band and put it around the tops of the bobby pins, sort of like that. And then maybe give it a loop so it tightens it down.
All right.
There we go.
That's occupational hazard there.
Right, right. So it kind of acts as like a bridge, I guess, or
Oh yeah.
you know. So notice that it kind of holds
Oh yeah.
pulls them down a bit. Right.
That'll be good for me.
Right. And one thing that you can do as well is you can adjust your bobby pins forward and backward on the board, and that can change the pitch as well.
Got one bum note. That's all right.
Right, there we go.
All right.
Sounds good. And then the last thing that you can do is take some tape and just tape down the bottom tongs of the
Oh, that might help me too.
bobby pins once you have them in a position where you like the sound.
Oh, messing up your tape. Sorry.
That's fine. I think that tape has been handed down through generations, so I'm not sure
My grandfather's tape before mine.
exactly. There we go. So that's what I have.
Oh, nice. And this. is what I have.
There we go.
What was our band name?
Musky Face.
Musky Face. Oh, that helped this one.
There you go.
There we go.
Right, so there is your mbira.
All right, let's fade to black and then see these in action.
So as mentioned, you can use the mbira to really explore different resonant qualities of different objects that you have around your house. For example, we have a lovely Hello Fall decorative box.
It's from the Target clearance section, circa 2018.
Yeah. Here we have a plastic bin that I carried my stuff from my house in. Here we have a little game box that we could also experiment with. You could also just try the table itself and other objects as well. So for example, here's the sound of the mbira again, just on its own. Here it is sitting on the table. Here it is on the box. If I lay the box down on the table,
That's a musky head sound right there.
yeah. It has its own little distortion because it's actually vibrating against the surface of the table as well.
What happens with a smaller? Yours is better. Let's see what else we can play with.
Yeah. Well, here's the plastic bin too. So. Yeah, so even plastic works as a good resonating space as well.
Awesome.
Cool.
Now let's
try
see
some
what
other
else.
stuff. Yeah.
Alright, well, thank you for watching the video. Thank you, Ben, for teaching me how to make this instrument. And hey, you might see this thing show up again in a later episode. So keep on watching, and until then, keep your ears weird. And I don't have anything else from that, actually. See ya.
Musky face.
Musky face.